Up, y'all? It's your man Ernest back again with another video. And the title is not about me. It's not about me and my dating life. I don't think I've ever dated a bisexual woman. Uh, Keyword, I don't think I did. Okay. I don't know for sure. Um, but it is what it is if I did. It's not a big deal to me. Do I prefer my women to not be bisexual? Yeah, only because, and I'm not saying this is all for the all bisexual women operate this way, but the ones that I know are very much, let me just say, free with their bodies. And now it's their choice. They can do whatever they want, but it tends to be a situation to where they when they're in a relationship, especially if they're in a relationship with a man, or a woman too, but if they're in one with a man, they don't think them stepping out of that relationship to do things sexually with a woman or even involving a woman. Well, I mean, it's a threesome, so that's not cheating, but they don't think stepping out of that relationship with that man, or that woman, with another woman and doing something sexually with them is considered cheating because if they have it in their mind that cheating can only happen between a man and a woman, if a man and a woman were to have sex, with one another, right? Outside of their relationship. Um, Again, I'm not saying this is how all bisexual women operate, but the ones that I know operate like this, I know for a fact that's how their men at least claimed that they didn't have a problem with these women stepping out of their relationships to have sex with other women as long as it was just with other women. Now that was the parameters of their relationship. Me, on the other hand, I don't want anybody coming into a relationship thinking that is okay. That's simply because the partner might be, another woman that it's okay for them to step out and cheat because cheating is cheating to me. And I'm not saying straight women don't cheat because I would know all about that. So that's a whole damn lie if they're going to try to come up here and act like they don't cheat. But with that being said, I am reacting to a video of a gentleman who is detailing his dating life and how he had a totally different experience when he dated bisexual women as opposed to his experience dating straight women now. Okay. So let me share the screen. I will be honest with y'all, I've already seen this video. So this is not like an initial reaction. I'm going to let it play first for y'all to watch. And then when I play it again, the other times I play it again, I will do the pause thing and respond to some things because there's definitely some things that I have to say about this video that I've seen about a handful of times at this point. So without further ado, let me play it for y'all.
I ain't gonna lie, ever since I got this haircut, I've been pulling in joints more than I probably ever have in my entire life. Okay. I am grateful. I don't like the demographic shift up. When I had my locks in my industrial bar and everything, I was cleaning up with the alt baddies, the bisexual baddies, the Marxists, the anarchists, the agitators, and the people that have no idea what they're doing. But now that I got this like option one standard ass look, I'm not gonna lie, I've been pulling in a lot of straight women. This is the first time in my life that I've talked to straight women since I was 17. So it's been about 10 years, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate it. I'm not having a good time. I'm absolutely certain that this goes for both sides, but holy fucking shit, I have never ran into a more needy, annoying, dramatic group of people in my entire fucking life. Half of the time, you can't even tell if they like you or not because they're so busy trying to fulfill some archetype to bring home to show off to their friends and family that half of the dates end up sounding like a contract negotiation or like a hostage swap. Like, do you even like me? I can't tell. Like, we're not vibing. We're not vibing. You're giving me terms of conditions of surrender. What the hell? Who wants to live like that? Like, I'm not surprised that there's a gender war going on. All of you are miserable because all of you are talking like you're buying a fucking slave. Do y'all like each other? When was the last time y'all just had a conversation that was really cracking the fuck up? Or when y'all really got into like some nerded out on some shit? Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? There has to be a foundation for acquiescence. And they skip right past that shit. Not to mention, all of them are quietly, wildly homophobic. It's weird. They bring it up out of fucking nowhere. And if you don't join in with them, then they sit there thinking that you will actually leave them for a man one day. And I'm like, what if I'm just not a piece of shit? Also, they're all still very weird about sex. Like, I thought we had gotten past that, grew out of it in high school, but I guess not. It's like a strong point of pride for them to come off as somebody that just doesn't fuck. And that's kind of weird, the same way it's weird for like when dudes really want you to know that they don't buy women anything. I don't spend a dime. It's like, okay, that's kind of, you don't have to, but it's weird to be this emotionally invested in it. Every single thing that I thought it was just naturally what two people that were attracted to each other would end up doing ends up being commodified and turned into bargaining chips. It's exhausting. Also, they're all trying to like twist your arm silently. They're like, as a man, well, I'm into men doing man things. Well, as a man, it's like, damn, what about me? What about as a me? Would you like to get to know me? I'm not going to contort myself into your idea of a dude. Just meet me and see if you fuck with it.
I and no matter how many times I see this video, I still end up laughing. Um, this man is preaching. I am not gonna lie. He is preaching. He's saying he's this young brother right here. He is spot on. He's also dead wrong in a way. Now, I could be assuming, I'm going to admit that right now, I could be assuming, making assumptions about this man. I don't know him, you know. I don't follow the dude on TikTok. I don't know him personally, right? But he said some things that made me say, huh. You bring up a lot of issues, my brother, that I totally agree with, but you've also said some things that made me go, you're the problem too, or you're part of the problem too, in regards to modern dating. I'm gonna play the video back again because one of the first things that he says, well, I'm gonna stop it, of course, and let y'all know, but one of the first things he says made me it was a red flag to me. It was a red flag to me that made me believe that he was or is a part of the problem within the dating scene as well. Let's replay this. Let it run its course.
I
Watch
ain't
it.
gonna lie, ever since I got this haircut, I've been pulling in joints more than I probably ever have in my entire life. Okay. I am grateful. I don't like the demographic shift up. When I had my locks in my industrial bar and everything, I was cleaning up with the all baddies, the bisexual baddies, the Marxists, the anarchists, the agitators, and the people that have no idea what they're doing. But now that I got this like option one standard ass look, I'm not gonna lie. I've been pulling in a lot of straight women. This is the first time in my life that I've talked to straight women since I was 17. So it's been about 10 years, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate it.
All right. So that's where I'm going to do the first pause. All right. Now, the reason as to why I am pausing here is he brought up the aspect of when he used to have locks. He used to be a fellow locked brother. When he had his locks, he had the industrial bar ring, which for those who don't know what that is, I'll probably have a picture of what an industrial bar looks like. But it's pretty much like the bar, like at the I don't know what part of the ear this is. I got a lot of hair, you got to move out the way, you know what I'm saying? But if you could see my ear, I don't have any piercings. It's like a bar that goes across that part of the ear, whatever it's called, if there's a name for it, right? I'm not a doctor, barely a YouTuber, as y'all can see. But he talks about how he's attracting bisexual women and just old women and this, that, and the third. My first question is to this man is why would you not cutting your hair or removing a piercing or so? Why would that disqualify bisexual women from your dating preferences? He's saying, yeah, he's now attracting his looks now. Look at his face now, but it's a crazy pause right there. But he's saying right now when he's making his little sex face that attracts the that attracts straight women. Be that as it may, it's not like you have to say yes to every woman or everybody for that matter who's attracted to you. And my thing is, if you're attracted to bisexual women, It shouldn't matter what you look like as in regards to your preferences. Now, if he cut his hair, he got rid of his piercings, and he's going up to bisexual women wherever he's meeting them, and they're like, "Nah, we don't like you," or "No, we you looked better when you look like a Marxist," whatever the hell that means, right? Then that it is what it is, right? But it sounds like he has shifted his dating preferences, well, not necessarily preferences, but who he's trying to go on dates with. It sounded like he shifted that based off of his own personal look. I'm attracted to whoever I'm attracted to. If I were to cut my locks today, guess what's not going to change? My attraction to the people I'm attracted to. It's really that simple. If I'm like, I love me a thick ass, a big booty ass. I love my BBWs. That's not a joke. I love my BB dubs, right? Shout out to y'all. Whether I have locks, whether I'm bald headed, whether I have a short fade, whatever it's, if I even had a damn mohawk, my attraction to BBWs is still going to be that because my attraction to other people isn't based off of how I look. That's my attraction to myself. You know what I'm saying? How I want to look. Right now, if I go up to a BB dub and she's like, "Nah, I don't like men with mohawks. I don't like bald men," whatever the case is, that's their attraction, right? But he brings up later on in the video, as you know, I'm likely gonna pause when he says that as well, when I play it again, right? He brings up how he doesn't want to contort himself in a way to fit into the archetype of straight women, which is his preference, right? But he's willing to put on an act, and I use that word very purposely. He's willing to do that for bisexual women, right? And I think that's problematic because you are pretending to be someone you're not. He had his dreadlocks, he had his piercings, he probably was, if and again, I'm making assumptions here, but based off of how he's coming off in this video, right? In this own video, his own words, right? Based off of how he's coming off, it came off as he was putting on a front, he's putting on an act that he knew that the Marxist women were into, the bisexual women that he wanted to attract. He knew what type of archetype that they liked, right? And because of that, he pretended to be that and probably had some success in doing so in the past. Now, clearly, he's a single man. And I'm not saying this based off looks. I'm saying it based off of what he said. He's a single man. So clearly those relationships didn't last for whatever reason. I'm not going to assume what happened. Well, I am. I'm assuming maybe the mask was, fell off, right? Maybe these women realized, oh, he's just pretending to be a specific type of man in order to be with me. And of course, any self-respecting individual, whether they're bisexual or not, if they find out that their partner has been putting on a front just to get with them, you're going to feel away and you're going to likely leave that individual because they put it on, they're not being genuinely who they are. And yet he's asking straight women to accept him and just men in general for who we are, not for what we can provide to them, not for, whatever material, thing that they want from from men, right? Again, great sentiment to have. Great sentiment to have. But when you are in the wrong and you're actually guilty of doing the exact thing that you won't do for straight women, this is not me trying to defend the straight women. A bunch of the stuff he said, I said in my video about why modern dating is shit. And I said that about straight women or just women in general, right? I did say that. I believe I did mention straight women, but I did say that about what the problem with women are today. So it is good to see that it's not just crazy old Ernie speaking these things. He said this. As you can see from this tweet, this Wick person has said the same thing. There's people all in the comments agreeing with both these individuals. So it's really a shared experience amongst men within modern dating. I'm not saying that women or straight women are the only problem. Again, go watch that video. That will be posted at the end of this video anyway, right? And if I remember, posted in the description box. So go ahead and look in the description box as well. But he's absolutely right in saying what he's saying. But like I said, I think that he is a part of the issue with him being okay with putting on an act to attract women, a certain type of women, but he doesn't feel straight women are worth that effort. So he's not willing to do so. And yet he's pointing the finger at them and saying they have standards that are very, what's the word? Shallow. Yeah, he's saying they have shallow standards, yet he doesn't mind contorting himself to fit into the shallow standards or perceived shallow standards of bisexual women. You have to look like this. You have to believe in this political view or have this ideology, this, that, and the third. Right? And I use stuff like that may not be considered shallow. But again, when you ask a question later on in the video about why don't you just like me for me? Why not ask the bisexual woman the same question? He cuts his hair. He gets rid of, an industrial piercing or whatever the case is, right? He gets rid of a look, and bisexual women are like, nah, we don't want a man that looks like this, right? We have a specific archetype, which again, he can't accuse straight women of having an archetype when it sounds like bisexual women also have an archetype. Again, an archetype he didn't find offensive to be a part of as long as he was getting what he wanted from these women. There was no problem for him to fit this archetype. Um, yeah, like if they're like we're only attracted to or I'm attracted to a man that looks like this, she's not wrong in doing so. Neither are these straight women. Even if their archetype happens to genuinely be what's the flavor of the month is for these straight women, whatever some TikTok bird said, and now they're all following her, right? There are some women, you can't assume that, that archetype, whatever it is, it may be, um, you can't assume that every woman who's into that type of man is faking a funk. That might genuinely be what they're into, or the physically the type of man that they're into, or if a man is a builder, meaning like he likes to use his hands type of building, right? If that's genuinely the type of man that she's into, she shouldn't feel be ashamed at all for saying that's what I like. Sure, should you like people for who they are, love people for who they are on the inside and they're much more than what they can provide and do with their hands and what they look like. Absolutely. I'm not saying these things matter more than the soul, the individual, right? I am not saying that at all. What I am saying though is to act like looks don't matter, to act like these other aspects don't matter is where a lot of people get fucked up, right? Especially again, if they're going to act like this gentleman and they're okay with having a certain look and being a certain type of individual for individuals they deem attractive. But for those they don't deem attractive, why don't you just stop dating them? All right, we're gonna play some more, and yeah, I know I went on a wild tangent, and I feel like I said everything. We gonna keep playing. Hold on, y'all.
I'm not having a good time. I'm absolutely certain that this goes for both sides, but holy fucking shit, I have never ran into a more needy, annoying, dramatic group of people in my entire fucking life.
Preaching, preaching. I said that in my video. Go watch it. My video about why modern dating is so shitty. Go watch it. That's exactly what I was saying about women today, you know? So he preaching, like I said, but he is part of the problem as well.
Half of the time, you can't even tell if they like you or not because they're so busy trying to fulfill some archetype to bring home.
That's pretty easy. If they're trying to fulfill an archetype, if they, and I'm speaking about it now in the aspect of if the archetype is just again some birdology type stuff, right? Clearly they don't like you. Clearly they don't like you, right? Clearly they don't like you. I've seen a bunch of videos and stuff, and it's not hard to tell if a woman likes you or not. And yeah, I agree. But there are times where, I would say modern dating today, it was like, yeah, I had a situation a couple months ago with a lady who the reason why I didn't pursue much with her because it just seemed as though she was dead set on not being showing any type of affection. Like it was like I didn't know or I didn't feel like she actually did fuck with me until I was like pretty much, yo, like, yeah, this ain't it. Like this ain't gonna work out. Like you're another individual who wants all the affection and you can't show it back. But then, you claim you have these feelings but can't even express that. Yeah, I don't know what happened in the past. I don't know if there's some trauma there to where it's like I did this to for a guy in the past and he did me dirty. Um, I'm not paying for anybody else's sins. That sucks. That's happened to me plenty of times. That has not stopped me from showing affection to those that I'm actually, that I want to be affectionate with. It's your job to heal. So it's like, yeah, it's darn easy to me at least to tell if a woman likes you or not. But again, there are those situations, like I said, where they probably do like you, you just don't show it. But I'm not gonna stick around and wait for you to you know, maybe one day. Nah, it's like we grown here. Grow up. Just say it. And I'm saying that because I know I'm the type of individual, the more information I have about you, the more understanding I am going to be. Had I known that information before, maybe it would have been a situation where it's like, okay, let me see if I could work with that or give her a little more time. But it wasn't. It was just shut downville. Shut downville. And it's like, but you want to date and be this shut off? And the thing that killed me is it's like her dating profile talked about how she didn't want a man that way, but didn't find it an issue of her being that way, which is another issue with modern dating. Something I mentioned in the video as well. People love to go on rants about how they don't want a partner that is X, Y, and Z, and they are exactly what they don't want their partner to be. That's funny.
To show off to their friends and family that half of the dates end up sounding like a contract negotiation or like a hostage swap. Like, do you even like me? I can't tell. Like, we're not vibing. We're not vibing. You're giving me terms of conditions of surrender. What the hell?
It's really easy, man. Do you even like me? If you got to ask yourself that question, ladies and gentlemen, clearly it's no. Clearly it's no. To me, at least. All the times I've had to ask myself that question, like I said, it was a no. There was that again, the one time, or at least one or two times. That may have been the second or even third time. That recent situation I was just telling y'all about. But more times than not, it was a clear she doesn't fuck with me. It was more so trying to get a slave, essentially. you know? And I don't know how what the master mentality was, but I highly doubted they went into it like I think that would be a nice person to have on my plantation. It was no, what can they do for me? They didn't go into it thinking this person looks like they have a nice personality. Well, they do have a nice personality, right? They out here in chains and they still joking around and stuff, and they're probably like that person's gonna be the entertainment. And if I don't like him, I'm shooting him. I'm cutting their legs off so they don't dance anymore.
Who wants to live like that? Like I'm not surprised that there's a gender war going on. All of you are miserable because all of you are talking like you're buying a fucking slave. Do y'all like each other? When was the last time y'all just had a conversation that was really cracking the fuck up? Or when y'all really got into like some nerded out on some shit? Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? There has to be a foundation for it.
All this stuff he's saying is right, but again, I go back to his first comment where it's like, but bro, you're okay with putting on a front to attract women, a certain type of women. And this is where I'm like, yeah, everything he's saying is cool, but I'm not looking past that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking past any of that. I might stop sharing the screen because I think this has been long enough, to be honest with you. I'm not looking past that aspect. People are out here putting on fronts on what they believe they have to be in order to attract certain individuals. And then having the nerve to get on that retarded ass app called TikTok or just the internet in general and act like they are victims of other people's wrongdoing, which two things can be true. Yes, it's a fact that his story sounds very similar to mine and a bunch of other men that have dated in this modern, era of dating, right? It can also be you are a part of the problem by pretending again to be somebody that you're not to attract certain women. Isn't that the performative male thing? That's exactly what the performative male trend is. It sounded like this man was a performative male when he was dating bisexual women. I also want to go back to the point that I made a lot earlier as well. Why not just go date by women? Why not just go to them? If you feel that bisexual women don't care about all of the things you say straight women cared about, they don't try to twist your arm to make you fit into some type of mold, right? If you feel that is the case, why not go back to the to the pleasant experiences you've had within your dating life? It makes no sense to me that you will want to continue putting yourself through uh L after L after L after L, wasted time after wasted time after wasted time going on dates, talking to women that you're having these bad experiences with and not going with the good experiences. I question what happened that made you not be in a relationship with these bisexual women? Is it a situation of maybe you wanted monogamy and their idea of monogamy was not cheating on you with other men and you weren't okay with that still? Was it a situation where, as I've hinted at before, maybe they caught you pretending to be somebody you're not in order for you to get whatever you want from them, and then they were like, "No, I'm not putting up with it," which again would make you the problem. What happened? What happened? There's a lot of backstory here that, I'm not saying this man owes us. He damn sure don't owe me. But there's a lot of backstory here in regards to why things haven't worked out with him and the same women that he missed dating. And also, if you really miss dating something or someone, simply just go back. Why do you feel I don't have the look? I don't have the bisexual woman look. I don't have the look of the type of man a bisexual woman would want to date. So I'm not going to go approach them. That is goofy to me. That is goofy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm like into BB dubs and BBW women don't like men who wear jerseys, like if I don't feel like giving up wearing jerseys, then I'm not going to do it. But am I going to just do something to go date these women when BBWs aren't the only individuals that I'm attracted to? No, I'm gonna go where the other pleasant experiences are. The other experiences where it's like, I don't mind that you wear jerseys, or I don't mind that you have dreadlocks. I don't mind that you have glasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind that you don't have piercings. I'm gonna go with those experiences. And if I'm attracted to them and they're attracted to me, it's a go. But you don't have to go on every date with a straight woman if you're having the same unpleasant experiences. And go back to dating a bisexual woman. Go back to trying to get with them. This video to me, although I do believe, like I said that he's part of the problem, but I don't believe that he purposely was trying to shit on straight women in this video. But it could come off as him once again trying to figuratively twist the arm of straight women and saying y'all need to be more accepting and open-minded like bisexual women. You know, they're going to be into whatever they're into, even if you think it's closed-minded. But you don't have to answer their call if they're trying to holler at you. You don't have to go to them. I still don't get how you think cutting your hair and removing a piercing means that you can no longer date bisexual women. That would only prove the point that they too also have an archetype, and you're trying to make it seem as though straight women are the only ones who can be shallow. Which, if you think that you not having locks anymore, you not having industrial earrings anymore, you not having a bull ring, septum ring, all that stuff, if you think that disqualified you from ever attracting a bisexual woman ever again, there's two things. Number one, you like I don't think you're as confident in who you are as you may think you are. You probably rely more so on your looks to attract people when you are the same individual that was telling straight women to value men for more than their looks, more than what they can provide. That should apply to bisexual women as well. They shouldn't get a pass because they're part of the LGBTQIA community. They shouldn't get a pass because they're not capitalist. They shouldn't get a pass because of whatever you know anti toxic heterosexual mindset that might be lingering, within your beliefs or whatever the case is. If straight women, if it's a problem for straight women to have archetypes of a man, right? Then it should be a problem for bisexual women as well. If the issue that you're saying with these archetype is, they disqualify a man for who he is as an individual and only care about him as what he can do for said woman, as a slave essentially. But again, it sounds like you've had those same experiences with bisexual women, and yet you don't have a problem with it because those were the type of women you wanted to attract. People don't seem to have a problem with doing things when they want to attract a certain type of individual, but also want to complain when other people that they don't seem more. It's like the women who want to attract white men will go on and on and on about how I'm not going to cook and clean and do all this other stuff and be the trad wife. I'm not going to do that for my man. And yet you'll see them on TikTok, and once they find a white man or whatever the case is, right? Um, a man that isn't their race or nationality, they're doing that for that man. So a lot of people, men and women, have zero problems doing the things that they say they won't do for the people that they think deem are worthy of it. I just want people to be real about that. That's my whole thing. It's like be real about all this shit. Like stop fronting. Like, you're just out here being hurt and battered by the opposite sex. I'm talking to both men and women. Stop acting like you're like these people are just out here wild and you're just this innocent individual who just wants to be loved for who you are. No, that's something you're doing too. There's something you're doing that's throwing a monkey wrench in this shitty dating scene. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will probably just, I'm not saying that things will change. Things might not change. You might like things the way that they are, but be real about it. And that's what I was saying in the video too. People just need to be real with what they want, who they are as well. All right, so there are actually two more points that I wanted to respond to that I actually forgot to respond to. When I first initially recorded this video here. So I'm here to wrap up this entire video by responding to these last 2 points that he's made in his video here.
Not to mention, all of them are quietly, wildly homophobic. It's weird. They bring it up out of fucking nowhere. And if you don't join in with them, then they sit there thinking that you will actually leave them for a man one day. And I'm like, what if I'm just not a piece of shit? Also, they're all.
So, oh man. Um, there's a bunch of people in the comments agreeing with it. I mean, like I said, this man he's not saying anything that is wrong. I've detailed my why I think he's part of the problem as well. And again, I could be wrong about dude, but you, I get the sense that I'm not, or at least not totally wrong. But also with this aspect of straight women being very much homophobic. One, it's a sweeping generalization to say that all straight women are homophobic. That's just not true. That's a sweeping generalization. Have I dated straight women who are really homophobic? Yeah. Have I dated straight women who are weird about sexuality, which is another point he's about to get into? Absolutely, yeah. But to say all of them were like that, it's not the case. Whether it's straight women that I know that I've dated, the ones that I know that I don't haven't dated, I know for a fact that not saying all, but the majority of the least homophobic people that I know, w- I won't say a majority. I'm gonna say there's more late least. What am I trying to say here? I don't want to say majority, but I do want to say there is a glaring difference between the women that I know who are very much not homophobic as opposed to the amount of men that I know who are homophobic, right? Or have some homophobic views or just, things of that nature, right? Um, yeah. Um, with that being said, um, the sweeping generalization, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And again, I have dated women who are weird about homosexuality. When it comes to men specifically, had a few, maybe one or two that was weird about it when it comes to women, right? It'd be the ones who are and very much open-minded about. I know I said earlier I don't know if I dated a bisexual woman or I haven't dated a bisexual woman, but I have dated women who are very much open to the idea of having sexual experiences with women and not thinking anything of it, as opposed to a man having sexual experiences with another man and thinking everything hellish about it, right? Um, Everything negative essentially about it. He's absolutely right, but that's not all straight women. Again, I've dated straight women who were pretty much like, listen, I'm not, I'm for the queer community. I have, gay family members, gay friends. I love gay men, you know, or, gay best friends and very much and all this other stuff. And there are homophobic people with gay friends, with queer friends. Let's not get it just like there are racist people with black friends, with non-white friends and stuff. There are non-white racists with black friends, so it's like these things can why the hell is hepatitis B trending on Twitter? I just noticed that. That is fucking disgusting, y'all. Anyways, um my eyes just diverted to that, and that's nowhere, shape, or form me saying that gay men have STDs or the LGBT. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's very much ironic that a straight heterosexual a straight uh homophobic. That's what I want to say. I was about to say homophoric for whatever reason. But homophobic individual would say things like, well, they all got HIV or hepatitis B and STDs and stuff like that, right? Um, Maybe the ones he's running into are homophobic, but again, it goes to the specific type of women that you keep running into, my guy. People are not going to want to bring this up. They're going to get upset at me bringing this up. And I'm not saying this is the case, but I feel as though that while he's on his dating journey and running into straight women, which again, he has very much all control over who he's dating, whether he looks like how he's looking like in his video, or he's looking like me, or he's looking like how he used to look like. He has every bit of control over his dating life. So again, if he's like, I miss dating bi women, well then again, go after bisexual women and don't go after straight women, because bisexual women are not going to be homophobic to you. All right. Although I've met bi women, or I've talked to, let me just say bi women, who again are very much for same-sex relations only when it comes to women, but find it disgusting when it comes to a man. These things do actually exist. These overlapping contradictions do actually exist with people. People don't want to talk about these things or don't bring them up as much, but they actually do exist. I'm not making this shit up just to disprove this dude or to what be combative. That's not me. I'm not the content creator who does that. I'm speaking from actual experiences, from my dating experience, from what I've seen as well. I'm not going to name names, of course, but if they get their eyes on this video, they know who the fuck they are if I'm describing the conversations I've had with them. You know what I'm saying? People will only know who they are if they revealed in the comment section about that. That was them that I was referring to. But there are actual people who can watch this video and say, yeah, he was talking about me when he said I was the bi girl that hates, gay men, or I'm the straight girl who is accepting of the LGBT community, or whatever the case is, right? But he is right. Again, I say that to say he's right, aside from the sweeping generalization that all straight women are homophobic, and I know people can lie online, but you know, I'm sure there are going to be straight women who see this video and they're like, "Well, he's wrong because I'm not homophobic." It could be a lie, but it also could be the truth as well, you know? Um it's all the straight women you decided to talk to, and I'm not saying that their mindset is right. It is what it is if that's how they feel. I definitely have dated women though, just to side with him in a minute, to play not devil's advocate, but to side with him in a minute. I definitely have dated women who were very much, if I didn't share the same homophobic mentality as them, they would look at me and be like, "Oh, well, he's gonna end up fucking my gay brother. He's gonna end up fucking a man. He's gonna end up leaving this date to go date a man and shit like that. And he's gonna end up, so I don't trust you if you don't hate gay niggas." Like, I definitely have met women like that. I've also met women who I dated this is one of the women that I wish, I kinda in a way wish that her and I didn't, things did work out. she had this gay best friend, right? When she first told me about him, she was just like, just a heads up, I have a male best friend, but he's gay, this, that, and the third. She wanted to see if I was okay with him being, who he was, right? And I'm like, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But then she took an issue with the fact that I didn't have a problem with, the friend being gay. It was like and you're probably like, there, Ernest, why the fuck you want to work out shit with her? Aside from that, she was pretty cool. But that's neither here or there. But she was like, it was weird because it was like she was talking about how she loved the fact that I wasn't homophobic, but then she also didn't like the fact that you know, I guess she had some insecurities that me and this man, for whatever reason, which it was a straight up no. Like on my end, I don't know how the fuck he felt, and I didn't want to know how the fuck he felt about me. But it's like, I'm like, shit wouldn't have happened anyways. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you were being weird about. Well, I don't want you to be homophobic, but I also don't like that you don't mind my best friend being a gay man. And I'm like, I did straight up say like you want me to what if he wasn't gay would and I had a problem with him, you would say I'm insecure, right? And all this other stuff, right? Now he could be I'm not saying this happens, but he could be acting like he was gay just to try to get at her, right? I've never seen that happen outside of like skits on the internet and like skits on like, in movies and shit. I've never seen that happen in real life, is what I'm saying, right? But I said that and she just, was sputtering out of control. But I say all that just to say, like, people are weird. Yeah, there are women who are especially weird about sexuality, hypocritical about sexuality. It's not just women, though. Again, there are tons of men out here who are very much, they will have homophobic, thoughts and stuff, but are very much okay with women being in sexual relationships, because they feel like the women are just doing it for the attention of men. It's this weird thing where it's like, oh, but it's okay because they're doing it for the attention of men. And their idea of if two men are doing things and they're two things are being gay, two men, two things are being gay. That's crazy. I'm not even gonna edit that out. It's one of those crazy edits where it's like you should edit that out, but I'm not. When two men are doing things, two things are being gay. It's crazy. I'm sorry. When two men are doing gay things and stuff, they feel a way about it. We're not gonna go over that whole spew. All right. It's getting weird already. And not because it's homosexuality, but I'm glad hepatitis B stopped being, but obstruction took over its place as the top trending topic. Let's continue this next point.
Well, still very weird about sex. Like, I thought we had gotten past that, grew out of it in high school, but I guess not. It's like a strong point of pride for them to come off as somebody that just doesn't fuck. And that's kind of weird, the same way it's weird for like when dudes really want you to know that they don't buy women anything.
Um, Again, this is the one point where I disagree with him on. I don't think women or straight women, because he's speaking specifically about straight women, right? I don't think straight women are weird about sex nowadays. This isn't the 90s or the before the 90s anymore. I think straight women are very, very much um some of the critiques about women, especially straight women nowadays, is they're too vulgar. They're too sexually involved. They're too this, too that. So this whole idea that they're still prudes about it, like it was the 50s, that's one of the talking points that I feel as though he just threw in there just to continue to shit on straight women, to be honest with you. Because at this point in time, I think he could have ended this video about a minute earlier. This video did not need to be his video, not this video that you're watching, but his video could have been about a minute, let's say a minute 32 instead of 2 minutes and 32 seconds. Not a long video, or at least not long to me. To you short attention span having niggas, yeah, this is a long ass video, 2 minutes and 32 seconds. But he made his point a long time ago. Now he's just beating a dead horse. He's just beating down on straight women because of his, you know, his disliking of them. Let's just say that, right? Um, and it is what it is. He doesn't have to like straight women, but to say that, one, that they're all homophobic, and then to say that they're still weird about sex, like they're not sexually free, and that's false. I think that's false. What I think what he was trying to say, because I'm still trying to shoot this brother some bail for some whatever reason, right? What I think he was hinting at was how they're very much not open to sex unless you spend money on them like a prostitute, unless you give them things like a prostitute. It's an exchange thing for them rather than a thing that they wouldn't want to do because they themselves are into having being sexually active, into the feeling that the connectivity of sex. It's more so of an exchange thing. You want sex from me, I want this from you. You want sex from me, I want this from you. You give me money, you give me things, you give me some type of security, right? And when they mean by security, it's not on some, not saying all of them, but the women he's describing are the type when they say they want security, it means financial security. It means maybe some housing security, some security of clothing, food, anything where it's like I don't have to come out of pocket for, essentially. I don't have to come out of pocket to get this money. I don't have to come out of pocket to live in this home. I don't have to come out of pocket to get this bag, to get these material things, to get this food, right? You give me all of this, you get to have sex with me. It's not that they don't want to have sex at all. Yeah, there are some. I was at the hairdresser a long time ago. Y'all see how fucked up my hair is, but I was getting a retwist. I want to say it's been some time. Let me just say that. The last time I've been there, right? But no, for real, the last time I've been there was women in there talking. There was a woman. She had her man there too, which yikes. But she was there talking to the woman who was doing my locks about how her sugar daddy doesn't even want sex from her. Like she's like, I don't even have to give sex. At first it was a sexual thing, right? But then it became a thing where it's just like I decided like I didn't want to continue doing anything sexual for him. And he still wanted to give me things because he just wanted this attention from me. Someone younger, someone that he thought was, better looking than his old ass wife or whatever the case is. Um, so it's like, yeah. Um, so there are times like that, but the women he's describing, and he probably ran into women that was just like, nah, bro, like I'm not having sex with you. It's not on some, I'm not having sex with you at all. It was, I'm not having sex with you unless you spend X amount of dollars on me. I'm not having sex with you unless you give me things. You continue to give me things, and then I'll have sex with you. Or it was, I'm not having sex with you, period. But I want everything. I still want your money. I still want everything from you. But I'm not having sex with you, period. That's not all straight women. The overwhelming amount of straight women rappers who are very much sexually explicit within their music, not just today, but in the early 2000s and the 90s. You can't tell me straight women are prudes. You can't tell me that. Now people could be like, well, that's just in the music. Rappers lie. People, musicians in general, not just rappers, but people lie within their music all the time. Touche. That is absolutely right. People get on the internet and lie. People get on their songs and they lie. But then you got bisexual women like Cardi B, or you got straight women like some other artists who are they have babies, they have all this other stuff, and they're having sex. You have these relationships. You have the sexy reds out there, the straight women who are like, you know, um very much sexually explicit. They have sex tapes out here, leaked they so it's like I'm not saying that the only sexually active straight women are rappers, but I'm saying the amount of people who listen to them, the amount of straight women who listen to these women, the amount of straight women who make this music, the amount of straight women who are just baby mothers out here who have OnlyFans with content on here, on there that is them having sex. Yeah, you can't say straight women out here are just prudes. You can't say they're homophobic. They're all homophobic. You can't say these things when I think, like I said, what this dude was trying to get at was they don't have sex unless you give them material things. That's a fact. But they don't have sex, period, is also not a fact. What's also not a fact is you don't have to give them things. Just like how he was saying with the dude, like, I don't buy women anything. And like the dudes there are dudes who don't spend a lot on women and still get sex, i.e., you're looking at one. All right. Not this man. I don't know about dude, but I'm talking about me over here when I say that. I've never had to spend thousands upon. Now, there have been women who've approached me on that. I've had a few instances where it's like, uh, you know, I approach a woman, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a train. I think she attractive. Well, I talk to her and she's like, I'm like, yo, let's, go out or whatever. Oh, take me to this restaurant, some high-end fucking restaurant and shit where it's like, hell no, nigga, I go there. But I've never personally had to spend more than when I was willing, or it's something. A lot of the times, to be honest with y'all not gonna believe me. I don't give a shit. But a lot of the times, I didn't have to spend a damn dime. It's because I got it like that. But no, if she likes you, you don't got to do all this extra shit. If you got to do extra, like I was saying earlier, if you have to ask a woman, does she like me? And the same goes for women out there. If you got to ask a man, does he like me? Chances are the answer is no. If you got to ask anybody if they like me, chances are the answer is no. Now, if you ask them for clarification, they say that they do and they genuinely do. There are moments where people genuinely do like the individual, but again, they're just too shy. Maybe they're just terrible at expressing that emotion and they need to be better at that. Those are totally different situations, and I get that. These things happen. Again, there are many different outliers and what's the word? Intersectionalities or whatever, intersectional whatever that that is involved in these things. But yeah, like I said, I just want to respond to this. We'll play the rest of this video just to see if I forget anything else. But yeah, I think I said what I said, but let's play the rest and see what's up.
Spend a dime. It's like, okay, that's kind of, you don't have to, but it's weird to be this emotionally invested in it. Every single thing that I thought it was just naturally what two people that were attracted to each other would end up doing ends up being commodified and turned into bargaining chips. It's exhausting. Also, they're all trying to like twist your arm silently. They're like, as a man, well, I'm into men doing man things. Well, as a man, it's like, damn, what about me? What about as a me? Would you like to get to know me? I'm not going to contort myself into your.
Yeah, I'm glad I continue press and play because I made this point earlier. He has zero problems with contorting himself to fit into the standards of bisexual women, but has a problem when straight women are like, well, as a man, X, Y, and Z. Now, let me get that and let me clarify this thing because I'm glad I'm doing this because I don't think I clarified it earlier, right? I'm not saying that people have to fit into any type of box that if they're pursuing someone they have to then fit into that box. If a woman is saying as a man you have to be X, Y, and Z, you have to do this, you have to look like this, and that doesn't fit who you genuinely are, don't contort yourself if you don't feel comfortable in making said changes and contorting yourself to fitting in any type of standard. That goes for men and women out there. But as I was mentioning earlier, he said that he had a specific art look and he was get attracting a lot of bisexual women, which tells me the bi women are also have these same standards, or at least have a set standard, just like the straight women he's encountering have a set standard. Being you have to look this way, you have to believe this way politically. You have to look up to these philosophers. You have to think this way. You have to behave this way. These are standards that he's saying the bisexual woman had. And again, he's saying because maybe he didn't have a problem with it because he naturally fits into that role. Or maybe he didn't have a problem acting as if he was naturally into the same things bisexual women are into. But he's saying it's a problematic. What I'm arguing against is him saying that it's problematic for straight women to have these things, but it's not problematic for bisexual women to have these set standards of what they would want in a partner, or if they're going to date a man, right? It can't be wrong for one group and right for another. If you think it's wrong for women to silently twist, straight women to silently twist the arms of men, then by all means, you kind of said earlier that bisexual women do this exact same thing. The only difference is you don't think their arm twisting is painful. You don't think that it's a problem when you don't think that they have to twist your arm for you to contort and for you to be who, they would want you to be, to fit into their mold of what the perfect man is. So just say that. Just say, I don't think straight women are worth the trouble fitting into their little fantasy boxes or checking off every box. I don't think that, if they say a man is supposed to do X, Y, and Z and be this way, look this way, blah, 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 whatever their box is, just say, I don't think their boxes are worth being checked off. And so I'm not going to make the changes and put in the work to do that. Just simply say that instead of trying to make it seem as though they are shallow and small-minded and all these other things. How about just simply just say, I don't believe that they're worth the fight. See, the reason why he wouldn't say something like that, or someone in his shoes wouldn't say something like that, because they feel as though it's going to make them look like the bad guy. And in this post, he's trying to make straight women look like the bad people, right? The bad guy, the bad gals, The bad gals, but not for real, like the bad person here. Um, Keep it real. Keep it real, whether you look like the bad person or not. If you don't think straight women are worth the trouble to fit into their mold, say that. If people are going to look at you bad, people are already looking at you because not everyone in his comments are they agree with dude. Um, there are straight people or just people in general that were like, ew, he gives me the ick. Or saying that he was very much he is fetishizing bisexual women. That within itself is probably a separate video if I were to return back to this thing, or a separate point. Because I definitely do have some interesting things to say about that idea of him sexualizing or fetishizing bisexual women. I'll make it here. Why not? Fuck it. This video is already long enough. I think that this whole fetishizing or sex of let's use fetishizing, right? It's another word people use when they want to deflect from the poison point of view, but the person's point of view. Here's what I mean by that, right? If this man was not shitting on straight women and just talked about how he loved bisexual women, right? Or his positive dating experiences with dating bisexual women, I don't think they would use the word fetishizing. Just like if a man were to make a video and talk about his positive dating experiences, dating and sexual experiences with trans women, and then not shitting on, let's just say, non-trans women in that video. If he were to say these things, they would say he's a brave man, he's a secure man, and all these great things about him. But if he were to say, I've had these dating experiences with transgendered women, and I'm comparing and contrasting my positive experiences with trans women as opposed to my negative experiences with non-trans women, they'd say he's just fetishizing the trans women. It also depends on the level of physical attractiveness of the man. People are not going to want to admit that, but they're going to say that if they found this man to be physically attractive, they're not going to say he was fetishizing the women. If they think he's not physically attractive, or if they think he is physically attractive, excuse me, they're not going to say that. If they think he is ugly, like I was saying, I'm mincing my words. So let me say that again. If they think the man is ugly, let me just say it. If they think he is ugly, they're gonna say he's fetishizing him. If they think he's not ugly, he's not fetishizing him. Although he could be an attractive man who actually does fetishize bisexual women, trans women, black women, fat women, big bone women, BB dubs, whatever the case is. They'll say, oh, depending on the level of attractiveness and whether they agree with the what he is saying. And to me, that's not how that's not what the word of fetish, that's not how categorizing someone as a fetishizer, that's not how it should work. It should work based off of the actual definition. Now, I'm not going to look it up right now, but from my layman's understanding of what fetishizing anybody is, it's to view them in like this um very much obscure type of sexual objectify type of way. And anybody is guilty of that. Someone who is deemed attractive or deemed unattractive is guilty of that. Not just ugly people. People you think are ugly are guilty of that. Anybody can. Not saying everybody is or everybody will. Anybody can be that. So, do I get the sense that he sexually or he fetishizes bisexual women based off of some of the critiques I've seen in this video? Uh, I I don't I could see where it's coming from. Like I said at the beginning, I do believe he's putting on a front or he is pretending to be um like he was trying to fit into a mold so he can attract more bisexual women. Um Ultimately, also, I think when you are saying somebody is, yeah, you can have an idea of what fetishization looks like, but I think ultimately it falls on the person who might be fetishized. If they don't think that they are, then it at the end of the day, it's like I work. If they say they're not, they're probably not. It's one of those weird things where it's like you're just gonna have to accept it as they're not. Or maybe they are, but they're okay with it. What if they are, but they're okay with it? What are you gonna do about it? You calling it out, if it's not gonna change anything. If they're okay with it, they're okay with it. They're okay with being fetishized because they're trans, because they're bi, because they're this, that, and the third. It might be weird to you. I'm not saying don't, it might be weird. I totally think it's weird, especially the black folks who love being fetishized for being black. I think it's weird that you would put yourself in that position. But what can I do about it? Not a damn thing. other than not allow myself to be fetishized for my skin color. Not allow myself to be fetishized for whatever reason. That's all you can do in a situation like that. So if the bisexual woman he's dated, which he clearly in this video, I don't know what his relationship situation is now. This video did come out in October. We are in December, right? But things could have happened by then. But by this time, if he was single at the time, it's clear that the situations he had with the bi women didn't even work out. But even if they didn't feel like, maybe they felt like, okay, he's fetishizing me and it didn't work out. As I hinted at earlier, maybe it was something else. But maybe it was a situation also where it's like, I didn't mind being fetishized by him. I just don't like the fact that he doesn't have ears. Or, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But all in all, yeah, these are all my thoughts. And if you watch this entire video, I appreciate you for watching this entire video in its entirety. I would love to know your thoughts, not just about what I was saying, but what this gentleman is saying as well. Can you relate to what he is saying? Can you relate to anything I have? If you feel compelled, feel free to leave your dating history in the comment section below. I definitely will read it. If I feel like there's an appropriate respond, I will respond to it in the most respectful way possible because obviously it's your personal experience. Hopefully it's the truth, but it's your personal experience, and therefore I wouldn't want to say anything disrespectful at all. Even if there's something I disagree with, I'm going to be as respectful as possible and vocalizing that if I want to. But yeah, until next time, until next video, y'all stop being weird out here. All right? Peace.